And then there was one. The last game of the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. It's the big one, Hopkins and Benilde-St. Margaret's. A rematch of the meeting last year at the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic, but this time around it should be a little more indicative. Last year, you may recall, Kendall McGee and Olivia Olson were injured, could not play, and Hopkins won convincingly over Benilde-St. Margaret's. This time, everybody is eligible, everyone is available. But we have a lot of new faces for Hopkins. And we will brief you on that as they announce the starters. Olivia Bell came up from Winona, scored 1,000 points in less than 2 years. Down for the Windhawks, down in Winona, but she and Jasmine Dang came up from the Big Nine to join the Lake. Hopkins also picked up Inara Nesbitt and Jalea Diggs from Park Center. So Hopkins went from a team that had a few questions about their viability, at least at the onset of the season. As we learned last year, they're still pretty darn good. But they are now a favorite once again in Class 4A. They got to the championship round, came up a bit short against Minnetonka. Benilde-St. Margaret's, just about everyone came back except for Olivia Olson, who was the lone senior. Kendall McGee making progress. I talked to Jason, her father, who works as an official, and Tim Ellefson briefly, and the explosiveness that Kendall was known for prior to her injury hasn't come back in full yet, but it's also the first week of the year, and Kendall missed a season and a half, basically. Missed 2 AAU seasons altogether, and her junior year of high school ball. So not a lot of opportunity to really gauge herself, pick up those bearings. But Kendall's back, and if you're wondering how she would fare without getting that AAU season under her belt, still good enough to get recruited by Creighton, where she will play Division I next year alongside some other Minnesota talent. In fact, a conference rival, Maya Moore, will be a future teammate. Here are the starters for Hopkins. It's Olivia Bell, Tatum Woodson, Lauren Hillesheim, London Harris, and Irma Walker. Irma, another rising prospect to watch. Kendall McGee will start for Benilde-St. Margaret's alongside Sydney Friedley, Zahara Bishop, she's going to Seton Hall, Presley Watkins, and Kate Kapsner. Presley Watkins coming over from the Orono program. Other college commits, Tatum Woodson, she will be playing at Belmont. So of course, her big sister back home playing for the Gophers. Well, technically, her sister is out in New Orleans, or on their way back from New Orleans. Hopkins wearing the blue, Benilde-St. Margaret's wearing the white. This is the big one. Or a big one. Lots of big games taking place tonight. Hopkins with the first possession. Liv McGill was the lone senior. So they bring back a lot of experience as well. Lauren Hillesheim, she's no slouch. Had a breakout of sorts. London Harris will be going to college. Irma Walker down low, cut off. Can't get through Kapsner. Kendall McGee with the rebound. And while Hopkins may not have the plethora of superstars in their starting lineup, they still have some athletes who can get the job done. Tatum Woodson, touch three, long. Rebound, Presley Watkins. Presley Bumping into Harris. Incidental, Kapsner, elbow J. Liv Bell gets the rebound. I do remember Liv early in her AAU career. She showed some promise then. We've got a foul. And it will go against Benilde-St. Margaret's Zahara Bishop. Woodson. Cross-court pass tipped by Sydney Friedley over to Kendall McGee. There's that driving ability that we were so accustomed to seeing. She stays with it. Tim Ellison noted that Kendall McGee might rise up. Jason felt the same way, I should say. That Kendall might rise to the occasion for Hopkins compared to Dowling Catholic, considering the history these two have had. Benilde-St. Margaret's two-time defending Class 3A state champions in the Olivia Olson years, and Hopkins' last winning state in 2022, reaching the finals in 23 and 24. Came up 1 point short in 23. Hillesheim, elbow J, off the mark. Rebound, that's London Harris, who lunged for it and will shoot two. London Harris, the niece of Tamara Moore. Missing the front end. Blanks at the line. We are still looking for our first Hopkins bucket. McGee getting Benilde-St. Margaret's on the board. It's early though, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout, at least not at the onset. McGee looking for space. Ball goes whee! It happens. We do see a few other recruits, or scouts I should say here, and a few camera crews. Hopkins still brings the crowd, even if it's not as voluminous as it was in the Paige Becker's years. Bell out to Woodson. Bell again. For three. Gets away, and how many rebounds has Elliott picked up down there? I know they don't count, but Elliott is, I think he's found the ticket, the golden ticket to get in on the action. Inbound. Hillesheim almost. Ooh, that was close. But you have to like the spunk out of Lauren Hillesheim. Look out. Bishop almost taking out a couple of the spectators. Lauren Hillesheim, another of the college commits. She's going to North Dakota. Cindy Friedley cannot complete the inbound play. Bell to Walker. Tie up. And the arrow favoring Benilde-St. Margaret's. Malia White checking in for Hopkins, entering her senior year. Another circuitous varsity career that started at Maranatha, then De La Salle, and found some footing here at Hopkins. Foul. They will say Friedley brought it in the act of shooting. So 2 free throws for the sophomore. Plays volleyball and basketball. Sydney has a twin sister. And you will see her a little later. Benilde-St. Margaret's with an early 4-0 lead. Woodson to Walker. Hillesheim, touch 3. Bullseye. Hopkins on the board. Foul on Bishop. That's her second. Hillesheim inside to Harris. McGee showing some big ups there. Hillesheim fakes. Bishop staying on the floor. She is the top returning scorer for Benilde-St. Margaret's. McGee with the steal. Friedley got it. Sydney with an early 4 points. Hillesheim, 3-ball. Off the back iron. Rebound gathered by Friedley. McGee recovers. Watkins, another fast break. And Benilde-St. Margaret's making an early run. 8-3 the score. Hillesheim to Walker. A foul on Harris. Trying to pry that ball away from the grip of Watkins. We'll see Ava Cupido check in for the first time. Ava was a starter at Minnehaha and has been a reliable role player since she made the move to Hopkins after Matt Pryor stepped away from high school head coaching duties a couple of years ago. But a great anchor to have on the bench. Right now, Benilde-St. Margaret's is feasting down low. Mira Wismer converts. Cupido for 3. Long. Walker trails. Cupido to Hillesheim. 3-ball corner pocket. Lauren Hillesheim giving Hopkins an early spark. McGee, full court press, foul on Hillesheim. Lots of D1 talents, both in commits and prospects. And one of many barometer games for Benilde-St. Margaret's. They'll face off with Stewartville again at the Casson Mantorville Showcase. Orono is going to be a challenge in their conference and section. And they will have their home-and-home with Jordan in early January. Capster to inbound, 12:24 left in the first half. Hopkins pokes the ball away. White, Cupido, working the key. Now Cupido, back to White. Hopkins trying to thread it inside. Ball gets away and scooped up by McGee. Through traffic. The runner She'll shoot 2. Kendall McGee, over 500 days. That was the wait between the state semifinal in 2023 and her return this season. They took the approach cautiously, and the extended absence might take her out of the running for Miss Basketball. She was on the watch list for the breakdown as McGee splits at the line. But a storied career nonetheless. She and Olivia Olson meshed well their first year together after Kendall McGee came over from Breck. Not a backcourt violation. White got the deflection. And Sydney Friedley had not established possession by the time she backpedaled. Watkins, fadeaway, swish. Presley Watkins, part of the Fury program, had some success on the club circuit. I don't think you replace someone like Olivia Olson, and Hopkins doesn't replace someone like Liv McGill, but you can find new leaders. In the case of Hopkins, quite literally. High-low to Ava Smith. Got hounded underneath, she'll shoot 2. Foul on Kate Kapsner, her second. And Ava Smith with the first pair of free throws. She will settle for a split. The freshman makes it 13-9. Hopkins dialing up the pressure. Benilde-St. Margaret's breaks. Bishop for 3. Off the front iron. Hillesheim catches the rebound in stride. In a jam, Cupido, 3 ball. Raises the iron, but Hillesheim was there to corral it right away. Hillesheim. 3 goes off the back iron. Cupido, O-board. And Hopkins getting a second, or I should say third chance bucket, thanks to a pair of O-boards from Hillesheim, the future Fighting Hawk. Jenkins, 3 ball, corner pocket. Kendall McGee spotted her. This is Anara Nesbitt, one of the new faces. She was caught off by Wismer, Benilde-St. Margaret's. Kendall McGee. That was a glimpse of the explosiveness we were so accustomed to as a freshman and a sophomore. She had plenty of mentors. Olivia Olson, Sierra Lumpkin. It was Kendall who encouraged Sierra to get after it in 2023 as Benilde-St. Margaret's won the 3A title over Stewartville. Sierra not playing college hoops, but doing quite well for herself at LMU. And Olivia starting her college journey at Michigan. Friedley kicks out. Bishop didn't see space for the 3, so she moves in A gutsy call with those 2 fouls, but she draws one on Bell. Zahara starts. Feels differently about that. Couldn't tell where she was at the onset. Zahara Bishop enjoys journaling. We learned that a year ago in our coverage. You may not see Benilde-St. Margaret's as often on the TSP television YouTube channel, and that's because they're an NSPN partner. Since I also with NSPN, I try to avoid conflicts of interest. So you may not see me for home games, but you will see a 3-point play by Zahara Bishop, who has an interest in the outdoors. As she brings the ball up following the steal by Wismer. Bell trying to cut her off. Bishop, the fadeaway. It's there. She likes to canvas paint in her spare time and take photographs of nature. Well, she is painting a pretty picture here as Benilde-St. Margaret's goes up by 10, 21-11. We're so used to seeing Lake Conference teams dominate, or at least eke out close wins, and that still is in the equation. But Benilde-St. Margaret's making a strong impression. Hopkins, though, getting a couple of second chance buckets. Ava Smith doing that on the last play. Watkins lost it. And there's the defense that makes Hopkins so potent, so lethal. But much like Minnetonka from last night, Hopkins making a lot of new faces try to work together. And Ava Cupido getting them a step closer with the 3. Kendall McGee with numbers. Jenkins will wait. Benilde-St. Margaret's will run a set. McGee, that's Bishop, I should say. The spin move. There's McGee. Changed her number this year. Used to be 30, now it's 3. But she gets the second chance bunny. She's got 5. Cross court, McGee. Leapt out, nearly snatched it for herself. Came up a little bit short. But again, Jason did say Kendall might bring something a little extra. There's no animosity, if you're wondering, between these two. It's just one of those statement games. Illegal screen. It's on Ava Smith, just her first. Hillesheim has a couple of fouls, and we mentioned Bishop with the 2 fouls. Bishop looking for the dribble drive. Has to compensate. Friedley had a good look, just didn't go in. Not a bad recovery, all things considered. Friedley leaps up for the steal and will wait for help. Used up the dribble near the midcourt line. Finds Bishop. And now Bishop makes her move. That was a traveling call. Mira Wismer dragged her foot ever so slightly. Good crowd on hand. And I see Tamara Moore in attendance. Remember, she is a scout for the NBA's Dallas Mavericks, but still can get down here from time to time. Bishop with the takeaway. 23-16, Bishop. Keeps the dribble alive. Tried to lob it to Watkins. Hillesheim knocks it away. I see a few Minnetonka players checking out the action. Benilde-St. Margaret's will take a timeout. 23-16, 6:42 left in the first half. Benilde-St. Margaret's looking for their first win of the season. They lost to Dowling Catholic yesterday at this event, and at the Tip-Off Classic, gave Minnetonka a challenge, but came up short in the end. Hopkins won a defensive slugfest with Lakeville North. The Panthers employing a lockdown defense that stymied Hopkins all game. They beat Princeton soundly and got a convincing win over Iowa City West. But this is Hopkins. You know there will be no shortage of high-level games on their schedule. Of course, they're in the Lake Conference, so they've got to beat up on all the other Lake Conference powers. They'll play Duluth Marshall next Saturday on the road. They'll play De La Salle in late December and then take on Dowling Catholic on the 21st of December. Hopkins has made an Iowa trip a thing in recent years. Lauren Hillesheim making the short corner jumper a thing. She's got 8. McGee tried to go back door, and the pass went through Mira Wismer's hands. Other games of note for Hopkins: Maple Grove and Providence Academy at the Granite City Classic. Hopkins and Providence have quite the rivalry. Walker, O-board. She'll flip it in. Walker with 4. And Hopkins, after getting walloped early, making their way back. Hopkins, it doesn't matter who's wearing the blue and black. They've got athletes. And that means they're going to have quite a fortitude and endurance that few other teams have, whether it's Brian Cosgrove or Tara Starks. Malia White for 3. Hillesheim straddling the baseline after collecting the offensive rebound. She'll try a corner 3. Loose ball. We'll have a tie up, and Hopkins with the arrow. One of the scoreboards has the possession arrow pointing in the other direction. 23-20. What's at stake? An early resume builder between two teams who have defined girls basketball in the Twin Cities. What a great fight, a great play. Hillesheim to Walker. Irma got herself free down low. Nobody to stop her that time. Watkins, Freedley, the press breaker, ends up empty. Hillesheim, Hopkins looking to take their first lead. A double dribble call. That is a tough break for one of many Division I recruits on this Hopkins team. Hillesheim and Woodson. The one difference between them and folks like Liv and Taylor Woodson, Nunu Agara, who's having a great start to her sophomore year in Stanford, they were all high-level D1. McGee gets it across. The runner. Long. Freedley reaches out and gives Benilde-St. Margaret's another chance. Long cross-court pass. McGee was in a tight spot and nearly threw it away. Tatum Woodson goes down. She's being checked out. 4:16 left in the first half. Tatum hasn't matched the success of her sister Taylor in terms of accolades. But she has been a regular presence, has come up with a few buckets, a lot of key plays over the years. One perk of White Bear Lake, they've got a lot of roller chairs. And they're going to wheel Tatum Woodson off the court and get her checked out. I'm a little concerned that she's right near the end line. If things get chaotic down there, or if you've got a player diving. There's Taylor Woodson, Minnesota returning from their trip from New Orleans. Checking in on her sister. I don't know what exactly is afflicting Tatum, but we'll see if we can get an update for you. Meanwhile, Kate Kapsner missing the straightaway three. Hillesheim cut off. Cupido back to Hillesheim. That's her sweet spot. Swish! And Hopkins takes their first lead. Benilde-St. Margaret's gets it across. They've missed some looks inside. Watkins, that looks off. Bounces off the backboard. I don't know if someone got a piece of it. Harris can't control it. We've got some hot potato unfolding here. Everyone stealing the ball. Don't keep your cookie jar out in the open. McGee with the shovel to Watkins, and Benilde-St. Margaret's picks up a much-needed bucket, 25-25. In this battle of state tournament perennials. Hillesheim, another three. Bullseye! Hillesheim with 14. 4 3-pointers in the first half, and a big reason Hopkins overcoming that hot start from Benilde-St. Margaret's, but a foul is going to send the Red Knights to the line. It's on Cupido, her second. Zahara Bishop with 5 points. Got the three-point play earlier. Blanks there. That was the front of a 1-and-1. I find her recreational activities amusing in the contrast compared to what she does in basketball. Friedli, another steal. This kid is another rising talent. Backcourt violation. Hopkins had not established possession. Tatum Woodson trying to work her way up and down staircase. Hopkins will take a timeout. Their first, 28-25, 2:29 left in the first half. Most of you have seen our coverage of Hopkins and Benilde-St. Margaret's over the years, but just to give you a sense of how Hopkins has defined Class 4A, they won 2 championships in the 2000s, won 3 in a row, and 5 altogether in the 2010s. So 7 state championships for Brian Cosgriff. Tara Starks won her first back in 2022. And the Royals have qualified every year since 2015. They were surprisingly upset in 2014 in sections. Benilde-St. Margaret's went through a rebuilding phase as Olivia Olson was making her way up. Olivia Olson came in and changed the tune over time, and then they added Kendall McGee, Sierra Lumpkin as well. Cupido missed the three. And Benilde-St. Margaret's ultimately comes up with it. Friedley, yes! Kendall McGee, even though she hasn't scored a lot, she has been hooking up with her teammates. Hillesheim feeling it, but no three-pointer that time. Tough pass, Hillesheim, numbers, Ava Smith. Can't finish either. Hopkins unable to cash in. Benilde-St. Margaret's. Watkins comes up with the rock, and she'll scroll to the rim. On the other end, Smith missing the 15-footer. Walker will shoot two. Walker gets the front end drop. An All-Lake Conference honoree last year. The anchor down low after Maya Najee graduated. 30-29. Pressure again, Hillesheim. It worked out. Nobody there to haul in the pass from Benilde-St. Margaret's. And Hopkins with a chance to extend this lead. 1:02 left in the first half. Liv Bell back in there. Lost the dribble. McGee takes it away. Kendall finds Watkins. Wanted the dribble drive, and she took too many steps. .38 seconds. Hopkins can effectively run this out since the clock doesn't stop for a made basket if they so choose. Bell needed help out at the elbow. Hillesheim, Benilde-St. Margaret's keeping a close eye on her now. Looks like the Red Knights are zoning up. A three can get you out of it though. And Cupido shoveled her feet before she slung the ball to Walker. So Benilde-St. Margaret's will have 5.5 seconds. To pick up a momentum booster. McGee gets across, throws it up, close. .30-29. Hopkins over Benilde-St. Margaret's, but there is concern over the status of Tatum Woodson, who is still getting service by the trainer. A big game in the early part of the season, and a resume builder for the winner. We'll take a break and come back for the second half. You're watching the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. Hopkins leads Benilde-St. Margaret's 30-29.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
We're back, and for those of you watching this game, it does not look good for Tatum Woodson. Wasn't able to put any pressure on her knee from what I was able to gather, and had to be carted off or carried off into the training room. What that means, we don't know. At least we won't know by the time this broadcast is over, but not a good sign. Hopkins does lead 30-29 over Benilde-St. Margaret's. First half numbers: Lauren Hillesheim, 14 points, 4 triples. Emma Walker with 8. Ava Cupido, 5. No points for Liv Bell or London Harris. For Benilde-St. Margaret's, Watkins has 8 points. Sydney Friedley has 6. Kendall McGee with 5. Zahara Bishop missing the fadeaway. Cupido bouncing into Walker. Goes up and in. Irma starting to find herself here. Dribble drive. Bishop up and in. Bishop was held to 5 points in the first half, and a traveling violation will hand the ball back to Benilde-St. Margaret's. Again, the story, at least the biggest one so far, the absence of Tatum Woodson, who likely will not return for the rest of this game. Players understand the risks that come with participating in these sports, and you do your best to avoid it, but sometimes weird things happen. Kendall McGee knows that all too well, and so many others who've had to work through injuries and ailments. Cupido's 3, offline. This one hasn't been clean, but usually things don't get polished until midway through the season. Hillesheim dumps it to Walker, who gets hacked and will shoot 2. Walker to shoot 2. Again, one of the rising talents for Hopkins. She's been around for a while, starting as an 8th grader and making her way up. London Harris scrapping for the O board. Hillesheim, bullseye. Another second chance conversion for the Royals of Hopkins. Hillesheim with 17. And the stats haven't been updated from yesterday's game, so who the leading scorers are, can't say much there. But Lauren Hillesheim rising up to the challenge. Offensive foul. Bell got herself squared up outside the zone. Mira Wismer tagged for the charge. Cupido lines up a three. Off the iron. We've seen this a lot over the years. In the case of Hopkins, Bishop missing the dribble drive. Hopkins can't get the outlet pass to work. I was going to say you can hang with them, but Hopkins finds a way to pull through in the later stages. They could be facing that situation, that environment once again. And they've thrived in that before. Wismer with a couple of big blocks on Harris. Benilde-St. Margaret's hanging in there defensively, and Bell will be hit with her first personal after the bump. Watkins, driving kick, Friedley for three. Nobody covering Kapsner. Kate, the senior, gets on the board. Walker, powering through. Kendall McGee committed and will be called for the charge. Bell drawing her second charge over the last few possessions. .33, a statement win. That's all that's on the line. Benilde-St. Margaret's in 3A, Hopkins in 4A, so not a whole lot at stake. Liv Bell finally gets on the board. Not a whole lot at stake as far as seeding or state tournament implications, but there are some bragging rights here. Liv Bell with her first runner, her first basket of any kind. McGee to Kapsner. Can't get it to work this time. Hillesheim lined up a three. It came up short. Harris. A little bit of chippiness. And a technical foul. Harris got into it a little bit with McGee. At least that's what I saw from up here. A few of the Eastview players sticking around to scout. Hopkins and Eastview will play each other. So we'll have free throws for Benilde-St. Margaret's with the technical on Harris. A foul was also assessed to McGee. I don't believe the McGee foul was ruled a technical. So this will give Benilde-St. Margaret's a chance to score a couple of points at the line. Zahara Bishop A canvas painter, nature photographer, and also likes to take walks outside. Bishop knocks down both free throws when the weather is nice, so I'm guessing Zahara Bishop will not be taking a walk home after this one. A 3A All-State honoree last year, going to Seton Hall. Jacayla Kraft out of St. Michael Albertville is playing there now. Because of the technical foul, Benilde-St. Margaret's gets possession. Either that or it was a jump and they had the arrow. Kendall McGee draws the foul. You know how it goes sometimes. Things get a little, I don't want to say antsy, but they get a little tense at times. It's a sport, everyone wants to win, and nobody wants to feel like they left something behind. McGee splits at the line. Benilde-St. Margaret's is inching a bit closer, though. Four-point game. Bishop by herself went up on White and drew the blocking foul. White runs into the tunnel. The hall again. There are 4 entryways, so it's a rather circular arrangement here at the Galvin Court in White Bear Lake. Aaron pass. White picks it up and takes it home. .42-36, Hopkins, the turnaround. Can't get the bounce. Hillesheim thought it was last touched by the Red Knights, let it go, and that cost her. So a dead ball O-board for the Red Knights, looking to get their first win of the year. Friedley leaps out of nowhere. Snipes a steal and a bucket. 11:52 left in the second. 42-38. Benilde-St. Margaret's 0-2. You may recall they had a slow start last year when Olivia Olson got hurt and missed the first month of the season with the broken hand. Benilde-St. Margaret's taking a timeout. They have 3 left. And taking a look at their schedule. We mentioned the rematch with Stewartville. You know, of course, about their annual series with De La Salle. That will be another barometer game De La Salle will host on the 20th. They'll take on Minnehaha Academy and Matabidi at the Capital City Classic. They will host Duluth Marshall December 14th. They'll also play Alexandria January 25th. Alexandria, another 3A team in contention. Conference-wise, again, Orono just listed themselves as a contender with the win over Minnetonka. Had to eke out another one with Rochester Mayo, although Mayo not a terrible team. But Orono wins over Minnehaha and Minnetonka. Benilde-St. Margaret's still looking for their first win. They'll come. Bell for 3. Short. McGee behind the back to Watkins. That's the Kendall McGee we've been waiting for. Kendall. I see ya. And Kendall has done a terrific job setting up teammates throughout. 42-40. Bell. High low to Harris. Rebound tipped to McGee's hands. We saw this yesterday with Minnetonka and Orono. If you can work on that ball movement, get a little more fluid. Zahara Bishop with the tough bucket. High degree of difficulty, but it ties up the game at 42. Bell for three. Missed the mark. And Hillesheim can't pick it up in time. Could another late conference team and a favorite in Class 4A fall to a 3A team? It would be some piece of symmetry if another Metro West team can take down a late conference power. It doesn't happen often. That's why they're such a big deal. Nesbitt, one-on-one. Bumps into Fridley, and a foul is called. There was a reason. We had a lot of chatter a couple years ago when Hopkins lost to Providence Academy. And our Nesbitt to shoot two. Has not scored yet. One of the many new faces for Hopkins this year. She's on the board. And it's a one-point game. Sloppy inbound. Cupido to White. Look out. Three, not there. Walker wins the scrum and lays it in. Walker with 15. And Hopkins up 45-42. Bishop to McGee. Nine and a half to go. High lob gets away from Bishop. 5 to shoot. Zahara's got to make something happen. Finds McGee. A traveling call. Malia White caught off guard. McGee got the shot off before the horn, but White picked it up after the miss, so play did not stop. White thought play had stopped. Doesn't matter, Walker able to strip the ball from McGee, and Hillesheim will score in transition. She's got 19, 47-42. Watkins sees a lane. Goodbye. That was a needed score for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Here's Hillesheim again. The three goes off the front of the iron. Offensive rebound. Hopkins getting those hustle plays in their favor. High Karam picked up by Walker. Contact and a foul. Last to give for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Walker missing the front end, but she has been dynamite throughout most of this one. have to take a split. Hopkins 5 of 10 at the line. Not where they want to be, I think, but they still lead 48-44. Friedli looking for the reverse. Hillesheim using her length. Lauren really coming into her own over the last couple of years. Tried to get set up near the rim. Hopkins will reset. Walker trying to thread it to Nesbitt and coughs it up. Remember, with some of the new faces at Hopkins, you have a Liv Bell from Winona, a couple players from Park Center, but they're all getting used to playing with each other, much like Minnetonka. That was a tough layup attempt. I think Friedli tried to force it there. Watkins got to be careful. Don't want to pick up a sloppy, unnecessary foul here. Bishop and McGee will check back in at the next whistle, getting a breather for that stretch run. White, deep three, off the iron, and that might be why Benilde-St. Margaret's has run into a rut somewhat with offensive efficiency production. Cupido will take it in after Nesbitt won the scrum. 50-44, 6:54 to go in the second. Benilde-St. Margaret's taking a timeout there. Bishop and McGee will return, 6:54. Certainly not the blowout that we had a year ago. These two highly familiar with these tight games. And as we've seen over the last several years, the Red Knights and the Royals willing to take on just about anybody. And you see the impact it has later on. Benilde-St. Margaret's, a lot of their key games came in December last year with Alexandria and De La Salle when they were shorthanded. But playing those teams, and Hopkins in that group as well, it prepares you for what you need to be successful. Benilde-St. Margaret's doing that with a runaway second half effort over De La Salle last year in the state championship. Their fourth title in school history. Watkins steps into the three, knocks it down. 15 points for Presley Watkins. Bishop recovered the ball and got bumped by Nesbitt. Here comes Bishop. Fouled, and that's the last to give for Hopkins with 6:09. Bishop with the blow-by, yes! One-point game. McGee and Bishop checking back in, and you can see the impact they have. Neither in foul trouble. I think that time on the bench was just to recharge the batteries. Walker, tough angle. Knocked away by Bishop. It did touch rim, so it will reset to 20. Bell, bullseye. Liv Bell with another huge score. Watkins, she's through. Gets the friendly bounce. That puts her up to 17. 53-51. It's coming down to it. Who will emerge? Who will come out on top? Bell from the elbow. Rebound. Nesbitt had the position, but not the reach. Watkins finds Bishop, and the Red Knights will settle things down. Bishop, I don't know if that was the ideal move, but she is able to draw contact. Zahara Bishop, 13 points. A pedestrian effort compared to what we've seen out of her. She had a 30-point game a year ago against Murray in Olson's absence. So it's back to a 1-point margin. 14 points for Bishop. Hillesheim. Walker again has been winning the battle of the boards. 18 for Irma. Still a one-possession game though, 55-52. Watkins. Got the Kawhi Leonard, also known as the Plinko bounce. Watkins having herself a game. But she did have some strong AAU performances in the spring, perhaps serving as a precursor for this one. Harris, up, rattles out. Bishop snares the rebound. McGee for three. Bell with numbers. McGee gets back there. Harris. How will you set this up? Looks like a 1-2-2 for Benilde-St. Margaret's. An early state tournament feel. Hillesheim left alone. Walker again. Not the tallest post player out there. But where Irma Walker has come through is the hustle plays, the grit, the toughness, stamina. Those on the circuit. I've highlighted her presence, her evolution. Gets both free throws. McGee almost lost it. Benilde-St. Margaret's had 3 timeouts left. They'll take one here with 2:28 to go. Irma Walker with 20 points. Again, stats from yesterday's game haven't been loaded. It might be a little while before that is. But Irma Walker had a quiet start to the season. This may be a breakout of sorts. Her coming out party, so to speak. And every player has them. Some come earlier than others. We saw that with the Ramlals this year. If you're wondering about Irma Walker, she had a 30-point performance in the state semifinals with Maple Grove. So she has answered the call in big ways before. This would just be the latest example. With 2:28 left, Benilde-St. Margaret's, they've also been in this scenario. As we put a bow on Thanksgiving basketball. Great games yesterday. McGee gets it in the backcourt. What you can do on an inbound to get around the Hopkins pressure. That's something they typically employ with great efficiency. And you know Hopkins has an extra piece of motivation. As Benilde-St. Margaret's throws it away, an extra piece of motivation to try to win this one for Tatum, who left early in the first half with a knee injury, one that does not look like a positive one. Well, no injury is. Bishop with the swat on Walker. Looks to go all the way, draws, no! Bell with her 3rd charge, and Bishop talking to the officials. The call is overturned. There is no video review, but from here, Bell may have been in the restricted zone. Tara Starks, I'm sure not pleased with that, but keeping things close to the vest in that instance. There's still a lot of time. This game isn't over, so no matter which side you're rooting for, no matter which side you're repping, you've got to focus, you've got to lock in, and focus on what's ahead. Zahara Bishop makes both free throws. And Bell, tough break for her. That's her 3rd. London Harris, I should say, has 4 fouls if you're keeping an eye on that. Ooh, that was close. 1:35 to go, 1-point game. These two going through the ringer multiple times. Lauren Hillesheim with the Plinko bounce. And she won't get $10,000 for that, but it might feel like $10,000 if Hopkins can get out of here with the win. What a game for Hillesheim. McGee for 3. Bullseye! Stand by for a photo finish. Bell off the screen. Hillesheim, answer, yes! Hopkins takes a timeout, 43.8. Lauren Hillesheim climbing up that proverbial hill. If you're wondering, she also put in some big performances as a junior, had a few 20-point games. None of them came in crunch time, though. They were all runaway wins. That doesn't take away from her performance, but I think getting 24 points here in crunch time in a situation like this against one of the best in Class 3A says a lot about her growth. Her lack of hesitation or apprehension to tackle the big moments. McGee working the baseline. You can do that off a made basket. Benilde-St. Margaret's, they don't need a three, at least not yet. They're going to look for it, though. Watkins, bullseye! Watkins with 22. Shot clock is off. Hopkins has 2 timeouts. Benilde-St. Margaret's with the arrow. Bell, yes! Benilde-St. Margaret's, they're going to hang on to their timeouts. McGee throws it up. Bell, game winner! Welcome to the big leagues, Liv Bell, and welcome to a victorious ending. 64-62, Hillesheim, 24 points, and Bell the hero. A grand finish, and Hopkins hangs on. They stay undefeated. Benilde-St. Margaret still looking for their first win, but make no mistake, we may hear a lot about these two come March. We'll try to get a word with some of the Hopkins players before we call it a night. This is the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. Hopkins beats Benilde-St. Margaret's 64-62. We're joined by Liv Bell and Lauren Hillesheim of Hopkins. Liv, I know you're still getting acquainted with the neighborhood. Not a lot of points, but you hit the 2 biggest ones tonight. It was a wild finish, back and forth, 2 heavyweights throwing punches. You threw the last one. Take us through the last play. How did you hit that elbow J?
Well, I looked at the bottom player in the zone, and I saw that she was helping on Lauren because Lauren had been hitting like 4 threes in that corner. So I looked to Lauren. She closed out on Lauren, and I just hit the jumper. I knew I missed one of the ones before that. I knew I can hit that shot, so I just took it.
This is the first time you've hit a game winner in the closing seconds?
No. No.
So you've hit a few at Winona and AAU?
Yes. I've hit a couple AAU, a couple in Winona.
And take us through that transition, because I heard a lot about you at Winona, getting over 1,000 points with the Windhawks in a couple of years. Not too often that players make the jump from southern Minnesota to the lake. What led you to make the change, and how are you getting acclimated to the new surroundings?
You know, after last year at Winona, I knew we had a full graduating senior class that was really good, and after that I just knew I needed better competition, a little more help. So Hopkins was the best decision for me to get good competition and be on a state-winning team.
Well, they're certainly in contention for that, and I know it's still early, 4-0 for you, but what do you think a play like that? You didn't do a lot in scoring, but to come up with the game-winning play and get a couple of charge calls as well, a bit of redemption for you. How do you think this game symbolizes the potential and the growth that lies ahead for you?
I think it just shows my resilience. Like that last charge I had on Zahara, I didn't get the call, but I picked it up. We locked them down on defense, and I think that's all we really need. Is our defense is our identity. So as long as we have our defense, it leads into our offense.
And I noticed the fortitude as well. No one really got upset about it. You just decided, all right, next play, let's focus, and that came in handy those last 2 minutes. Lauren, I know you've been in your share of tight ones with Hopkins before. You didn't get the game winner, but you got a couple of big threes late. You finished with 24 points. Tell us about your performance and how you found that stroke early.
Just out the gate, we knew what we had to do. We went through our scout. We knew what we had to be prepared for. I knocked down some shots. We had one of our players go down. I knew I had to pick it up and show out for my team, and that's pretty much it.
I did see the injury, and I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to speculate on the severity, but to see Tatum go down early, I know that can be demoralizing, deflating. I'm guessing that added a little extra motivation to get this win.
Yeah, it did. I thought, like, right away, like, that's one of my closest friends. I was like, my whole mindset the rest of the game was, I'll pick this up. Like, we got to get this going for Tatum. Yeah.
And Irma Walker had a big role in this one as well, getting a lot of putbacks, working her influence down low. How has she come along, and how do you think that could help, especially for the interior?
Yeah, she's been great. She's such a strong player. She's doesn't get all the looks that she should get, but she's a great rebounder, and she's great.
Now, effectively, you've traded one Liv for another Liv, but you had to go through Liv McGill, who is now at Florida, so you went through the transition of seeing her leave and everyone else having to step in. What kind of leadership do you think she left on this team that you and the others who have come back have exhibited?
She's definitely left big shoes to fill, and we're still kind of getting in our roles and seeing what everybody needs to do. But overall, I think that each of the seniors have their own identities that they are sharing with the rest of the team. And Liv had left a big identity, and we're all kind of picking up on her techniques.
I'd say that sums it up well, considering this performance, and had a close one with Lakeville North already, so Hopkins just moving right along. What are you looking forward to as you continue your senior season, Lauren?
I'm just looking forward to keep battling with my teammates night in and night out. I love my teammates, and I'm super excited for the season, and we'll see how it goes.
And what about Liv? What do you think of her so far? This Liv, I should say.
She's pretty good. I'm just kidding. I'm very grateful to have her as a teammate, and I'm glad she came.
I would agree with you. She's pretty good. Well, we know she can come up clutch after tonight. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Well, hi, moms out there and everyone who watches. We've covered a lot of Hopkins games over the years, and they always put up a battle. There's a reason you got to go through them usually to make it to state, and you exhibited why tonight. Congrats on the win, and I'm sure we'll be crossing paths again later this year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Liv Bell and Lauren Hillesheim of Hopkins, and that will wrap up our Thanksgiving holiday coverage for 2024. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching.